Everyone, it's 2:32. I think we'll get going here. I'm sure there's a few people that are going to join a little bit late, but hopefully we'll get them caught up as they come in. Just for your information, we're going to record this Zoom meeting, so it's available for others to see afterwards. So if you're more comfortable of having your camera off, that's totally fine. What we're going to do is we're going to go through our presentation today, and then if any of you have any questions at the end of our session, we're more than happy to answer some. And if not, we will share our contact information with you at the end of the presentation. And if you'd like to reach out to us individually and have an individual discussion, that would be okay as well. So we're going to get started. I'm going to share my screen and walk you through our presentation today. So again, welcome to our presentation today. My name is Philipp Gruner. I'm the CEO of Vernon and District Immigrant and Community Services Society, or in short, VDICS. We've got some of our team members from the agency on the call today, and in particular, Ida Sanchez, who's our outreach worker for this temporary foreign worker program that we're going to introduce to you a little bit closer today. So VDICS is a non-for-profit agency here in Vernon, BC. We've been around for over 30 years, and our primary task is to help with settlement and integration of newcomers, immigrants, new Canadians that are coming to Canada, or more in particular in the North Okanagan and the Vernon area. So some of our services include settlement services. We have a settlement worker in schools that helps children of immigrants get acclimatized in the Canadian school system. We provide English classes, employment services to help people get employed and navigate the different career and employment pathways that are in Canada here compared to what they're maybe used to at home. We have a fairly good community connections program, which includes a mentorship program and just connecting newcomers to the community. And then, of course, our temporary foreign worker outreach support program, which we're going to talk a little bit about today. So what is our TFW, or temporary foreign worker outreach program? Our goal is for us to help temporary foreign workers and employers of temporary foreign workers and enhance the overall experience of temporary foreign workers and their employers during the time that they're here. We look at TFW support both from a social and a regulatory aspect. So obviously, when you start bringing in different cultures into a work environment where people live together and work together, sometimes you have dynamics just because you have different cultures, and we are hoping to help bridge some of that if that's the case. But then at the same time, there are regulatory and guidelines that have to be followed that are both in law or provincial or federally regulated. So that's more towards the employer side, where we can help you answer any questions or anything that you need to do if you decide to ever hire temporary foreign workers, or if you already have temporary foreign workers. The program gives an alternate channel for anything surrounding temporary foreign workers. So we also act, or we can act as a mediator sometime between employers and temporary foreign workers. Very often there's just some misunderstandings, and language barrier comes in between some of that, and we have a fairly wide support system of translators and even in-house language capabilities. So Ida, our outreach worker, is fluent in Spanish and has been able to help with a lot of issues, particularly in the agricultural sector, as there's a lot of Spanish-speaking temporary foreign workers that come into that program. So what do we focus on when we talk to temporary foreign workers? Primarily, we focus on Canadian provincial labor laws, available services and resources that are available to them while they are in Canada. We sometimes help to improve inadequate working conditions, and that sometimes it's just a phone call to an employer or making an employee aware that there are certain issues that they can then rectify. And then we have a language program where we can teach temporary foreign workers some basic English skills. And we're hoping that next year, if this program continues, that we can actually start creating a bit of a two-way language program where we can provide some Spanish to begin with to employers to communicate with their employees, and then obviously the English part with temporary foreign workers. And we're hoping that next year we may be able to bring native English speakers with native Spanish speakers together and have a joint type of English-Spanish program, which should enhance the work communication out in the field, if it's in an agricultural setting or in a restaurant or in a hotel, wherever that would be. The North Okanagan area specifically relies heavily on temporary foreign workers. We do have a vast agricultural industry here, particularly in the fruit sector. So we have a lot of temporary foreign workers that come into the region. We're focused on a positive experience and contributing to the local economy through the TFW Outreach program. So whatever we can do to help this program be successful and a good experience for all involved, that's what we're here to support. So there are about 5,000 TFWs that come to the Okanagan Valley every year, and they work in different industries. So agricultural would be the primary one, but they're also in the healthcare and hospitality industries. Part of this outreach program has been for us to collaborate with other nonprofits and other agencies in the community to help with specific requirements that we may not be able to give. So that is anything from mental support or mental health, housing requirements. So we have a very good network with other agencies here in town, and then also agencies like ours within BC, if there's ever a cross geographical issue that we need to reach out to. So what can we do specifically for employers? And that's more what the session is about today. So we are able to provide you with support and educate you, employers, with the obligations and responsibilities that you may have when you hire or employ temporary foreign workers. We can help you create safety plans and workshops in the workplace for safety in the workplace. That has been something that's been particularly in demand with COVID-19 happening at the moment. Eventually, hopefully in the very near future, we're going to transition out of the COVID-19 plans, and we can help you with just in general work safety plans to ensure that your temporary foreign workers and your other workers are safe while they're here. We have acted as mediators in the past between employers and their employees on different situations. A lot of these requests primarily stem because there's a language barrier, and as I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of languages available that we can help with to do direct translation, and if we don't have it in-house, we've got the resources to pull the right translator into the situation. And then we're also happy to assist in dealing with sensitive issues, which may be some workplace complaint procedures or jurisdictional obligations that may not be 100% met. Assisting with interpretation and translation services, we are able to do that in most situations, not just in a mediation type of format. So if there are documents that sometimes need to be translated, or it's just a conversation, you want one of us on the phone to do an interpretation, we're happy to help you with that. We want to build an effective relationship between employers here in the region and our agency, and of course our settlement workers. we are hopeful that this support program is going to be something that's going to continue into the future. And the goal for this program to be effective is really for employers in the region, our outreach worker, and our agency to be in constant communication to make sure that temporary foreign workers in our region is a success. At times, we can arrange for transportation for workers in emergency situations. That mostly applies to medical related issues, but in general, if there is, for whatever reason, the employer cannot provide the transportation or a vehicle is not available or something's happened, we have a little bit of funds available to provide some of that in emergency situations. And then we are, as I mentioned earlier, we provide referrals and networking to other local nonprofits or support organizations that may be required, both for employers or TFWs, depending on what your need is. So if you as an employer sometimes would like to have somebody come in and do a presentation on mental health, just as an example, we can help refer that and have somebody from another agency come to your location or do it via Zoom and do a presentation or provide help in whatever it is that you need. The kind of direct services that we have for temporary foreign workers is stress, anxiety, and depression. I mean, a lot of these individuals are away from home, so stress and depression does happen in the workplace. So sometimes just having an outlet to somebody that's not tied to the workplace, but that speaks their language or is even a native of their country, makes a big difference. So we help with that. Sometimes there is, again, this is where culture sometimes gets into the way, and somebody might be afraid to ask for medical help at the workplace. So again, we can help with a referral or, let you know as an employer that there's an issue with one of the employees that really needs some medical attention. In some countries, it's quite common that they would have a little bit of a pharmacy at home, where in Canada, most of these medications, you need to go to a pharmacy and very often need a prescription. So all of these gaps between cultural differences is what we're hoping to help bridge. COVID-19, obviously a very hot topic at the moment. We talk a lot with temporary foreign workers and also employers about the COVID-19 hotline. That's available in 110 different languages. So if people have questions around that, we help them or inform them on where they can contact this hotline. And then we also provide updates regularly through our social media, but also direct services regarding changes with COVID-19. As many of you know, I mean, there's almost weekly, if not every 2 weeks, a change to a rule or regulation or mobility. So we're trying to stay on top of that and break the messaging down in small packets that are easy to understand for both employers and temporary foreign workers, so nobody's caught off guard if there's something that changes with rules and regulations. We talked a little bit again about Canadian and provincial labor laws. A lot of that is different in Canada than from where some of these workers come from. WorkSafe BC claims process is sometimes required and can be somewhat complicated for a worker if they've never gone through that. So we're happy to assist with that. And then again, making referrals to appropriate services when required. I'm very thankful that we have Tim Walton on the call today. He's with Purple Springs Nursery in Armstrong, BC. Tim and his team were one of the first employers that jumped on the supports that we have. And Ida, our outreach worker, has been working very closely with Purple Springs. And we had asked Tim just to maybe give a couple minutes to talk about how our agency and Ida has helped a bit of a challenging situation within Purple Springs, and just to share how we can help employers with their temporary foreign workers. So Tim, I think you're on the line. Would you mind just taking a couple of minutes and talking about that?
Good afternoon, Phil. Can you hear me there?
Yeah, can hear you fine. Thank you.
Excellent. No, yeah, we've been using the seasonal agriculture worker program. We're heading into our 7th season with getting guys from Mexico. And yeah, the biggest challenge for us has just been the communication, cultural differences, and having the ability to, yeah, just to talk through Aida this fall here through some stuff that has happened on our farm, and just being able to talk with her and with another translator has been huge for us. And currently Aida is working with us and one of our workers to try to switch out of the seasonal agriculture worker program into a different stream, so he can apply and we can sponsor him through his permanent residency, with the long-term goal of him and his family being in Canada. And yeah, it's just been such a success for us to tap into Aida and her ability to not only look into some of the more challenging stuff in terms of the regulations and all that, but also to be able to communicate on our behalf with our workers in their native tongue.
That's great, Tim. Thanks very much, and we look forward to continuing to work with you in the years to come. So great to get that kicked off with you guys. So thanks for sharing that.
Oh, my pleasure.
There are a lot of eyes on the temporary foreign worker program at the moment, and if you follow the news, you know, there's particularly some disturbing cases that came out of Ontario last year, and one closer to home here in Kelowna, where just the general treatment around temporary foreign workers was just not correct or inadequate. So, you know, it is our goal that in the region that we service here in the North Okanagan, that everybody has the correct amount of information and support that they need to ensure that temporary foreign workers can continue to come to Canada and just fill that void of a workforce that we can't fill here locally. So that is really our primary aim in this program delivery and this outreach program that we're currently conducting. I'm just going to let you read this on your own here. This is just a quote that we received from a temporary foreign worker that has had some connection with us, and that we've been able to help through some stuff. So it's been for us anyway, very fulfilling, both from a temporary foreign worker standpoint and from an employer standpoint, that we've been able to help through some tough situations in within this program. So again, we're very fortunate that we are able to deliver this program and support temporary foreign workers and employers alike. So that brings us just about to the conclusion of our presentation. I'm just going to throw up our contact information for our office here. And I hope you found this informative. Again, our agency is here to support you in whatever you need in regards to temporary foreign workers. Sometimes if you just want to bounce off a question, or if you're thinking about hiring temporary foreign workers and you're not 100% clear of what is required to do that and what you have to do, just let us know. There's a lot of us here in the office that can take your questions, and if we don't have the answer right away, we'll get it for you. And again, if there's something that's going on with your current workforce where you just may need some external intervention or some help, just give us a call and we'll see what we can do here. We look ourselves as a completely non-biased organization, so we don't tend to lean towards employers or the employees. We're trying to have a level playing field here and ensure that everybody that wants to deliver this program right has the supports to do that, and that's our main goal. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen at this point and just kind of pause and see if there's any questions that anybody may have. You can either type them in the chat box, or if you want to get off mute and just ask a question, happy to do that. And if there is none and you would like to rather have a conversation after this presentation, reach out to us. You're more than welcome to do that too. So I'll just pause here and see if there's any immediate questions you may have.
Hi, Philip. This is Bunbeer from BC Fruit Growers Association.
Hi there.
I'm a registered immigration consultant, and we assist employers with the seasonal agriculture worker program and the Ag Stream program. So our organization is heavily involved with the seasonal agriculture worker program, along with BC Agriculture Council and other employer associations across Canada, and the consulate and the liaison service and the foreign countries. So we love that you have this service available in the North Okanagan. We do hire on a labor facilitator in the summertime to help with translation, orientation, and he helps out throughout the Okanagan from the south to the north. But that's great to know that we can reach out to you for your assistance, because I think one thing is that when the workers come into Canada, and then after the 14-day quarantine, then they're going to the farmer's location, that's when it's important that, they're given orientation and given the health and safety training and bullying harassment training. So I think that's something that I think employers can reach out to you in assisting, especially in the north. And that's good to know that, all these services that you are providing and assisting employers, because I feel like sometimes everyone thinks it's one-sided. But it's great to know that there's assistance for the employers as well to help out with translation and interpretation and running workshops. That's great to hear.
No, perfect. Thanks for your comments. We're actually just started another small program here where we are in contact with the employees that are going to come to the North Okanagan that are currently in quarantine in Vancouver. So anybody in BC is going through the same quarantine center in Vancouver, and we're trying to do some real basic introductory English sessions with temporary foreign workers while they are in quarantine, so they've got something to do on the side, and at the same time maybe get them ready for the workspace there. So yeah, it's exciting for us. This is the first time that Vernon or the North Okanagan has had a very specific program to just in-depth support temporary foreign workers, and a big shout out to our outreach worker that's really taken the bull by the horns, so to speak, and run with that and create an outreach program that we haven't had before, and just kind of built that out from scratch. So Ida's done a phenomenal job so far. So thanks for your comments, appreciate that. Anybody else?
Oh, another thing I just remembered, we do put out Friday files with services and programs available to the employers. So that's something we can put out for the North Okanagan growers, so they know that they can reach out to you guys as well with your services. So that'd be great if you're okay with that.
Absolutely, yeah, that's perfect. I just have another question here that's typed in. Can this work in conjunction with wage subsidy? That is a good question, and unfortunately, I don't have an answer to that. Never actually come across that. So let me. Thank you. I know where the question's coming from, so we're going to dig into that and just follow up with you if the Canadian wage subsidy also applies to temporary foreign workers. I'm going to say I don't see why not, but that is a question I have to follow up on. So sorry, I don't have an answer for that. Okay, I think I don't see any other questions in the queue. Again, thank you very much for joining us today. If we can help you, please reach out. We're going to put this recording onto our social media, so it can be replayed, and we thank you for your time this afternoon. We hope that this was informative for you. So have a great afternoon, and thanks again for joining us.